I have heard the same confession from finance directors and senior marketers. They lower their voice and admit that they used AI to do a piece of work, and it felt like cheating. These are highly capable, experienced people. They're well paid for their expertise, yet they carry a quiet unease, as though they have gotten away with something. We should take that discomfort seriously. It is widespread, and it is not foolish. However, the feeling is aimed at the wrong target. This feeling acts as a signal. It suggests that your sense of value is still tied to the physical production of a document, rather than the professional judgment that the document is meant to represent. The guilt comes from a hidden belief. We often assume that the work is the output, the document, the model, or the deck. We have been conditioned to believe that the hours spent manually creating an artifact are the ultimate proof that we have earned our seat. When a machine produces that artifact in 90 seconds, the belief quietly panics. If you did not make the document, you are left wondering what you actually contributed. But the document was only ever the visible residue of thinking. The real job is the judgment about what matters, the decision about what to leave out, and the read on the room. AI broke the link between typing and thinking. This shift exposes how much of our sense of value was attached to the process of assembly rather than the quality of the result. There are two ways to use these tools. Only one of them justifies the unease. The first is the vending machine reflex. You ask the machine for an answer, accept its first response, and move on. In this scenario, you have outsourced the thinking. A 2025 study by Lee and colleagues shows a definitive downward trend. The more people trust the machine, the less critical judgment they apply. A generic question produces a generic answer. Accepting this makes your output indistinguishable and you replaceable. The second way is to think with the machine. You bring the context and the constraints. You argue with the drafts. You feed the tool the realities of your market and your last 3 years of decisions. You hold the machine to your professional standard. Because nobody else has your specific knowledge, the work that comes out is uniquely yours. There is a single test that settles the cheating question. Could you defend the work? Imagine a colleague stops you in the corridor and pushes hard on your recommendation. They ask what happens if your main assumption is wrong. If you can answer them and explain the weaknesses in the argument, the thinking belongs to you. In that case, you should feel no guilt. If you would have to go back and ask the machine what it meant, then you did not do the work. The discomfort in that moment is a useful signal. It is not an irrational fear. It is telling you that on this specific task, you stopped thinking. People often say, the AI did my work for me. In senior roles, that is a misdescription of what actually happened. The machine has never sat in your meetings or lost your deals. It lacks the accumulated pattern recognition that stays in your head. It cannot do the work because it does not have the material. The honest description is that the AI did the typing, while you provided the reasoning. The evidence supports this. Studies by Noy and Zhang in 2023 and Brynjolfsson and colleagues in 2025 show that AI makes capable people markedly more productive without making them frauds. The tool removes the mechanical production, leaving your judgment exposed. That judgment is the only thing you are actually being paid for. We use a methodology to address the vending machine habit. It is called the Havruta methodology. This requires a change in posture. You stop asking the machine for answers and start making the machine ask you questions. We refer to this transition as the flip. This is the point where you make the machine interrogate your assumptions before it drafts a single word. When you lead with your reasoning and force the tool to test your logic, the logic of the cheating feeling begins to fail. You are no longer abdicating your responsibility. You are using the instrument to sharpen your own judgment. Using AI this way is the most valuable version of your job. You are using the most powerful instrument available while bringing the one thing it will never have: you.